And we're back with another video with Aidan Valentine.
Hey.
And I'm Noelle, the host of Pop Punk and Pizza. And today we're going to go over some of your new music and your unreleased demos, right?
Yeah, that's totally cool.
So you have some new singles out right now. I know you have Hypocrite and...
The other one.
The other one.
Yeah. So Hypocrite, I wasn't going to release as a single. I just did. I folded. Deadbeat came out September, and then I Still Miss You came out in October. And I felt like I should do a single every month then. For some reason, it just didn't perform very well. And so I'm like, maybe I shouldn't release a single every month because then people won't care as much. The next single I have coming out, I'll play it for you.
Okay.
It's called Don't Go. It's my favorite song that we ever did. Like, as
Awesome.
Aidan Valentine, is the best song, I think, to ever come out under that. It's a very pop song. It's like super pop. And it doesn't sound like any of the other songs, but I think that's why I like it the most.
Yeah.
That one is coming out on New Year's. So
Oh, cool.
Don't Go comes out on January 1st. It's got synth in it and everything. It kind of reminds me of like 2010s music. It's like a very radio rock song. It doesn't sound like alternative very much, maybe a little. So the rapper that's featured on it, his name is Trey Lavish. His voice is so good. Like, he has such a strong voice and it fits perfectly on the remix. It's like the Danger Days of my discography.
Okay.
It's not like Hypocrite, it's the complete opposite of Hypocrite. Hypocrite to me kind of sounds like a pop punk song. Like, that's just what I would describe it as, like pop punk.
I would say it's more on the alternative side with like influences of like, I can't think of the name of the band.
Really?
But I think it sounds different than your other two singles that you released.
It's less
Deadbeat.
pop, I guess,
Yeah.
than those two.
Oh, Queens of the Stone Age is what it reminds me
Really?
of. Yeah.
That's what we were thinking about when we wrote it.
Really?
Yeah, when Raven was writing a lot of the guitar, he's like, dude, this is like Queens of the Stone Age. And I was like, this just sounds to me like a 4 Year Strong song, kind of, like with the breakdown and everything.
Interesting.
But yeah, I can see why you say that. Just because in terms of like the heaviness factor of it almost
And
a
it
little
kind
bit.
of like switches up tempo, I think.
It doesn't,
bit.
but I see what you
I don't
mean.
know.
I see what you mean. Like, it goes from like playing in full to like halftime. Like when it's that heavier part, it's like in halftime, so it's like kind of like a breakdown almost, you know? So it kind of like feels like it's slowing down and speeding up.
That one I think is my favorite out of the ones that you've released so far.
Really? Damn, thanks. But yeah, so I'm releasing that on January 1st, so Don't Go's January 1st, and then the remix like 2 weeks after that, so it's like January 15th or something. I think the plan is to release just like more singles, essentially, but I do want the full album to come out sometime in spring. I still like the novelty of having a full album with a coherent-ish sound,
Yeah, I like
kind of.
that too.
Plus, the album tells a story, so it's like the first, like, I don't know, couple of songs are like romantic-y love songs. The name of the album is Aidan Valentine's. I thought that was creative.
That's cool.
Because I was like,
that.
okay, it ties in with the whole Valentine thing, right?
Yeah.
But the way I was thinking about it was like the violence would be like the bad aspects of a relationship, and like the Valentine aspect of things would be like the good parts that everyone kind of romanticizes. And so it kind of goes through the stages of a previous relationship I had where it's like you meet each other and there's kind of like infatuation, you know, like you're really into this person, and then things fall apart, and then there's a sense of like jealousy and anger and just like, should I move on, should I not, kind of thing. And then there's like, you know, like Hypocrite's kind of like, no, she got a new boyfriend, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just comes full circle with the last couple of songs are kind of more about like still having feelings for that person or not moving on, or moving on from them, essentially. It's kind of like, you know, 3 different stages of a relationship.
Yeah.
And so I kind of want it to be seen more as a coherent piece of music as an album, as opposed to just being seen as like a collection of singles that I released, because then it kind of takes away from the story a little bit to me. Even if it means that the album isn't as successful as it could possibly be, I still like having a complete project that tells a story over a bunch of singles that performed incredibly well because I put more money into marketing each single or something.
Yeah.
And so Don't Go is like the second song on the album, and so it's kind of like a happy song, which is rare for me, I feel like.
Anything else you want to mention about maybe like new music coming up, or?
Superglue, we released a new song.
Yeah.
It's called See For Me.
Yeah.
It's a lot heavier than my music, obviously. We actually recorded that song with Snow from Football Head as well. That was the first song that Superglue did through his studio and everything. And it's definitely more of that kind of like post-hardcore sound, you know?
Okay.
I have so much fun doing that too. It's like
Yeah.
2 completely different things that I'm attached to that I get to make the two types of music that resonate the most with me.
Do you have any live shows coming up?
For Superglue or?
For either one.
The thing is I was thinking about putting an album release show for Aidan Valentine together. That's still a possibility. Probably that would be late spring, maybe early summer, potentially. Superglue has a bunch of shows. We have one next week on the 28th at Landmark Lanes in Milwaukee. We have one or two in Chicago in January, you know, and a whole bunch of other shows. It's a long list, so I won't bore you with the details, but there's a lot of shows in spring, so.
All right, well, go listen to Aidan Valentine on all streaming services. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.